The blue-haired Marxists must have got jobs or something now, because it seems like they haven't got time for protesting and gluing themselves to the roads anymore. What is going on? Just Stop Oil has announced, shockingly today, that they are hanging up the hi-vis and they're going to stop their ridiculous stunts. Hooray! Sounds absolutely fantastic, but why on earth have they given up? Well, they've put out this tweet today. There's a longer statement, but it basically says the same thing, and they say 3 years ago we appeared in a blaze of orange. At the end of April, we'll be hanging up the hi-vis. Our original demand of no new oil and gas is now government policy. We, yes, they're taking responsibility for this, we have kept over 4.4 billion barrels of oil in the ground. A new resistance will be coming. Join us for the final Just Stop Oil action in Parliament Square, April 26th. So apparently that's it. 26th of April, Just Stop Oil is going to bed. They're going to give up with their protesting, not because they think it's going nowhere, but because they actually think they have been so successful that they don't need it anymore. They think that they are the ones who are solely responsible for Ed Miliband's net zero madness, where he's not granting any more oil and gas licenses. He's saying that he's going to put cement down the last gas wells in the country, even though we are nowhere near self-sufficient when it comes to just using renewables. They actually take up a teeny tiny percentage of our energy supply at the moment, so I don't know how we're going to cope, and it's bonkers. But Just Stop Oil, they're actually happy, and I'm genuinely surprised by this, because when it comes to these woke protesters, normally you give them an inch, they take a mile. The government does one thing that they want them to do, and they just come out with more and more demands and get angrier and angrier. So I am genuinely shocked, but I mean, hopefully this means an end to this kind of madness, them sitting in the streets, blocking up the M25 and other roads, stopping people from getting to work, stopping emergency services. They claim they don't do that, but they absolutely do. And even if they do manage to let an ambulance through, if it manages to get to the front of the traffic backlog, it's going to be a heck of a lot slower and very, very difficult for an ambulance to get through to the front. So we know that it is caused problems, and it has held up delays. And I have seen a video of them actually not allowing an ambulance to get through, contrary to what they claim when they talk to the media about it. It's gonna hopefully be an end to this silly stuff. We had soup thrown over Van Gogh. We also recently had Darwin's grave was graffitied with orange spray paint in Westminster Abbey. But yeah, is this the end? Well, on the one hand, I'm happy, but also I'm a bit worried about what is to come, because let's not dismiss the fact that it says a new resistance will be coming. What is this new resistance? If you're getting rid of Just Stop Oil, what else are you going to create? Now, you guys may not have noticed, but Just Stop Oil, over the past few years, they have actually branched out a bit, and they have actually done other campaigns, because I guess sometimes they get bored of talking about oil all of the time. And you guys may remember the Bibi Stockholm. Remember, they were going to be housing migrants on there, and the left were going insane, saying it is a floating prison, you can't put human beings in there, when actually, by the way, the reason why the Bibi Stockholm exists is because there is a company, and there are other companies like this that have this vessel, and they have others. They have a whole fleet of them that are rented out to, for example, people that work on oil rigs, so that they can live there whilst they are working on the oil rig, right? So there's no outcry about the living conditions that oil rig workers have to live in, but as soon as migrants have to be put on it, there's absolute outcry, and the Just Stop Oil protesters decide they need to step in. So we had, when there was the bus of migrants coming to arrive to be put on the Bibi Stockholm, there was this protest where you had these guys sitting in the road and trying to stop the coach from getting to the Bibi Stockholm. Now, you may notice a couple of similarities with Just Stop Oil here. A, the tactic protests used, sitting in the road and trying to stop the traffic from going forwards. And also you can quite clearly see that that banner is Just Stop Oil branding, even though it says no prison ships on it rather than Just Stop Oil. Nothing to do with oil, but they decided they wanted to branch out. You'll also notice the similarity with the ridiculous pink hair with very overgrown roots on the left-hand side, just like you have in the case of the Van Gogh painting. Not sure if it is the same girl or if a lot of them just like to opt for this ridiculous hairstyle. But there we go. So what is it going to be next? Is it going to be Just Stop Israel? Maybe that's what it will be. I would not be surprised. It could be Just Stop Israel. It could be a No Borders kind of thing, refugees welcome, this and that, because clearly they're interested in that matter because of what they did with the Bibi Stockholm. I don't know what it is, but you know what these young people are like. They will find something to moan about. Maybe they will moan about maybe it will be Just Stop Islamophobia, and you'll have these these people with their pink hair who identify as they thems and say that they're queer and non-binary, and they would probably be thrown off a roof if they went to Gaza. They will be, of course, protesting in favor of Gaza, and they will be protesting in favor of the Muslim community, many of which they believe that homosexuality is a sin. So yeah, that will be an interesting state of affairs, and I look forward to seeing it. But hopefully they will not glue themselves to any roads, because we do not want any silly disruption like that, do we? Anyway, that's the latest update on the Just Stop Oil saga. Let's see what they come out with next. Thanks for watching. I'm Chloe Dobbs. Please subscribe to Reasoned if you've not already.